Hi, I'm Ashlee Mather. I'm in Project Group 5. The rest of my group hasn't been responding to me since October, so I just decided to do this project by myself. The topic I chose is conflict management. So let's get started. Defining conflict and conflict management. Conflict is a competitive or opposing action of incompatibilities, an agnostic state or action as of divergent ideas, interests, or persons. Conflict management is the practice of recognizing and dealing with disputes in a rational, balanced, and effective way. Conflict management implemented within a small group environment usually involves effective communication, problem-resolving abilities, and good negotiating skills to restore the focus on the overall group's goals. Types of conflict. Conflict can occur in many situations, but here are a few to start. Definition of responsibility is unclear. Conflict of interest, not enough resources, and interpersonal relationships. Causes of conflict. Other than opposing ideas or personalities, these things cause conflict as well. Definition of responsibility is unclear. When it is unclear to who is responsible for what area of a project or task, that's when conflict can occur. Conflict of interests. When an individual's personal goals are at odds with the goals of the group, the individual may be tempted to fight for his personal goals, creating a conflict situation that will hamper the success of the project. Not enough resources. When there's a competition for resources, including money, time, and materials, this will cause the group members to undercut each other, leading to conflict between group members and other groups. And interpersonal relationships are a result of the interpersonal relationships where the parties to the conflict are unable to resolve personal issues with each other. Preparing for conflict management. When preparing to resolve or manage a conflict in your small group, you can ask yourself these questions to help prepare yourself. Is the conflict about one event or a series of them? What are my goals for the group, and how do my goals for the conflict affect them? What have I done to contribute the cause and perpetuation of this conflict? What are some workable compromises that I can come to the table with? What are my expectations taking into account the other party's needs and values? Am I letting my own expectations be shaped by others not involved in the conflict? Resolving the conflict. When it actually comes time to resolve your conflict, you can take these communication steps to get through it. Pause and get grounded. Take a minute to assess the situation. Zoom out to gain perspective. Imagine you are viewing the conflict from a neutral outside. Become mindful of your nonverbal communication, such as facial features, hand gestures, etc. Avoid behaviors that add fuel to the fire, such as criticism, contempt, shutting down, and defensiveness. Reflect empathy. This allows the others to be heard and diffuses conflict. Take responsibility for yourself. Own up to your poor behaviors. Use assertive communication. Avoid being passive, aggressive, and passive-aggressive. Be open and flexible. Listen and really hear the other person or people. Focus on what you can control and let go of the rest. Remember, you can control your behavior, but not others. Forgive. Be grateful for this learning experience. Work hard toward acceptance. Forgive, and make like a Disney princess and let it go. After the conflict. After talking about what needs to be fixed, find small points of agreement such as the problem and the procedure to follow to stay resolved. Find solutions to satisfy the needs of the individual and group. Determine a follow-up to monitor actions, and determine what will be done if the conflict goes unresolved. If the conflict continues, bring in an expert, maybe to mediate. And if you do, make sure the mediator is neutral. Make sure that the mediator is trained and knows what they're doing to avoid more conflict. Trying not to avoid conflict. Trying not to avoid conflict. Many people think the best way to manage conflict is to avoid it altogether, but in reality, that's the worst thing you could do. Avoiding conflict keeps you trapped in forever because issues become bigger, resentment grows, people become disengaged, people feel powerless to solve their own problems, and good ideas remain unspoken, and leaders don't get needed information because people don't want to or are afraid to speak. Working as a group. Conflict is an inevitable part of working in groups. Groups can be successful if everyone works hard, you do your share. Be inclusive, make sure everyone is heard. Take turns, don't be the leader all the time. Be nice, avoid personal criticism, and make sure you know what they're saying before you weigh in your opinion. Be timely. When you're late, you're wasting everybody's time. Don't be an enabler. Hold everyone responsible as a group. Stay focused on the task. Don't drift to irrelevant subjects. Improve the mood of the group. Be appreciative of other people. Be positive and be fun. And don't cast blame unfairly. Ask about what you have done to contribute to the problem if there is one, and what you might do to fix it. All of these steps can help your group be very successful and manage and resolve conflict when there is conflict. I hope this helped, and it was a great semester.